and welcome back into the TheSeshRoom. I'm Brandon,
I'm Chase.
and today we're going to be talking about doing Mary wrong. Everything people get wrong about weed.
The party fouls you shouldn't be committing.
What's the most recent party foul you would say you've witnessed here?
That I've witnessed? When you invite people over to smoke, like you go, let's sesh at my spot, and you're like, bet, like, be over there soon. You get there, all the smoking utensils are dirty. Like filthy.
Went back to these people who don't clean.
Like not like no water stains, like there's water stains. But like, you like water stains are fine, but like there's so much gunked up residue inside of there, and it just looks like mosquitoes grew. They were like, look at all this stagnant water.
Dude, it's like the people who take 3 or 4 days worth of bong rips and
Oh, no.
then they think it's time to have a sesh at their house.
I didn't even watch it.
Everybody come over. Me and my friends just smoked, that aren't you guys, 3 days prior. And then I smoked the day before that. And then I smoked yesterday. I didn't have time to clean it, though. Everybody
Didn't.
smoke at my house. We're smoking at my house.
What one have you witnessed?
So I was at my girlfriend's friend's house. And her and her mans be smoking the papers.
Okay.
And I don't want to say he like made out with the wrap when he was rolling it up. But if he didn't take that thing out to dinner beforehand, I'm concerned.
Like, did he stick his whole tongue inside of it and just like lick left or right with it?
Yeah, he was one of those
Ooh.
people that like unrolls it, makes it flat, and then proceeds to press his tongue on it and go from left to right multiple times.
So pretty much when you hit the blunt, it's like you kissed them.
I did my best to do the whole use your hand as a tip thing. You know what I'm saying? You put it in your pinky.
Yup.
This is a tip. You got a friend who likes to make out with the blunt wrap. Roll your last 2 fingers, your pinky and your ring finger over that thing, and then make like a little tunnel.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And then just hit like your fist. That'll keep you from at least most of that. I hope. Does fire burn off saliva like that, or?
I
you
feel
getting
like it does.
Okay, well,
I feel like it does. You'd be good. Fire kills germs.
we'll write that one off.
We'll write that one off. I think the worst one is when you drop it, especially if you're in the car.
Oh my
Like they drop the blunt.
gosh. Yo, that's the only party foul you don't commit in the car. You got to be a good quarterback to your receiver in the car, guys. You got to pass that thing accurately.
Straight
Make sure
to the
it
driver.
hits. Make sure it hits the hand.
The driver is supposed to just be looking at the road.
Not
There's
even
no
just
way
the
you look at that
driver.
man and go, it's your fault.
It's not even just the driver. I saw one where the passenger, I was behind the driver. Passenger was handing to the person beside me. And it was just the most non-looked, just fumbled handoff. Like they just threw their arm around their other shoulder like that. And they felt somebody's just presence and they just dropped it. They were like, oh, I thought you had it. You didn't have it.
You didn't grab that thing?
You didn't have it, dude. Come on, dude. Why didn't you have it?
That's not good. It's really not good.
Yeah, and then what? It's burning the carpet. It's burning the hole in the floor on the carpet.
What if you
and then-
can't get it and you break it trying to get it up out of there,
Oh, my gosh, I've done that.
It's the worst. And then you just wasted some weed.
And you're not getting it back because it's like tangled up in the carpet fibers.
I ain't even going after it at that point. It's a wrap. It's done. It's over.
What a waste. I've been there too many times.
I mean, it happens.
Wait, hold on. Party foul. We didn't even write this one down. You ready? Have you ever done this? I have done this so many times, I don't want to admit to it. At least 20 plus. As the driver, ashing it out the window, and I rolled it. It's fine. I don't care. Sometimes I do it by myself on accident. Ashing it out the window. And then when you bring your hand back in, there's nothing in it.
Drop the whole blunt.
Drop the whole blunt, joint,
done that.
whatever, straight out the window.
You hate to see it. It's an L.
And it's a big one. I've dropped I just lit it 20 seconds ago, 30 seconds ago. We're just getting to the good part. And there it goes.
I hate to admit, one time I threw the bag into the water, lost it. Thought I only threw like some trash that was in my hand.
Oh, no.
Threw the whole thing in the lake.
Are you littering?
Negative. Listen, if it's like a banana peel or like a piece of candy, like, I'm sorry, I'm chucking it outside. If it's like a wrapper, I'll keep the wrapper.
Anything biodegradable, I don't think counts as littering.
Yeah, no, then we're not littering.
It might be, though.
The food.
So I feel like in
gross.
some places with like birds, like close to like up in like dang, where was I at one time? Ocean City. I was up at Ocean City one time, and I think there's a thing on the boardwalk there that says like don't throw your like peels on the ground because like birds will eat them. I think they might die or something.
That's their fault.
I don't think they know any better, so
I don't know. Birds are pretty smart.
we can just split it 50-50 and just do my best to aim for the trash can.
The ones that know, they don't know. But anyway, lost the whole eighth. Defeated.
Wow.
Talk about defeated. That's the biggest party foul. It's like, hey.
It'd be the worst if it wasn't yours. It's somebody else's. They tell you throw something out the window, you just grab and throw, and they're like, hey, can you also pass me a bag of weed down there? And you're like, what bag of weed?
Ooh.
What bag of weed?
Hate to see it. Hate to see it. You really do. I think another one is like if you come over there, and it's like, I'm going to smoke a blunt with the boys.
Right.
But like, dude gets there and he's like, yo, can you roll this for me? It's like a 0.3. It's like to smoke just paper.
What do people call those? Oh, twigs. People call them twigs. Hey, yo, can you roll up this twig?
He didn't even say twig. He just said, hey, could you roll this blunt? And I was like, that ain't even a blunt.
I think it's like a twig, and then I think it's what do you go to, like a stick? What do you go to after that, a log?
A log.
I just know a cannon. A cannon is like the biggest you can roll. If you roll a cannon, that's like you got like a quarter in there plus. To like, I don't know. I've seen people roll up like 10s and 14s.
Wild.
I mean, it's a lot of weed, but
it is a lot. That's too much.
But yeah.
Too much.
No, what? No, it's never too much. Especially if you got the sesh at your house. If you're at the sesh room, you're rolling up at least 5.
At least 5.
Probably.
Factual.
Oh, okay. For sure.
For sure, at least 5.
For sure, maybe probably 5.
I think another one that sucks is when someone finally, they get the blunt, and then they don't even hit it, and they just start talking about something. And then they go to hit it, but then like, oh, but wait, and this. And you're like,
oh, they're always the one those people are always the ones who hold it like a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? They hold it between their 2 fingers.
ooh.
Those are always the talkers. And then they'll do like the lean, like they'll be sitting and then they'll lean down on their legs, kind of like they're taking a poo, but they're actually just talking with the blunt in their hand or joint.
Hate to see it. It's not a cigarette, pal.
And you know what I'm saying? They're just sitting there like they're on their smoke break at Walmart and they're just talking.
I love how that was so specific.
I worked at Walmart. I've been on those breaks. And you're supposed to be passing it around because we got to go back in and stock these shelves. And you're holding it there. Mary Beth. I'm not going to say her name.
Mary Beth.
That's not her name, but I'm going to say that.
And Jane Doe.
Jane Doe.
Ooh. Do you think when you witness a party foul, do you go, wow, like, did you just blatantly do that, or do you think they honestly don't know?
I feel like most people don't know. Here's the real question. Here's what I thought you were going to ask me, and since you didn't, I'm going to ask you. When you witness a party foul, do you call them out on it? Do you say, hey, are you going to pass that?
100% if someone's holding the mic, I'm like, holding the mic.
Holding the mic. I mean, I know holding the blunt like a microphone.
Yeah. If they're holding the blunt super long, man, I'm just kind of like, hey, are you going to hit that or just let it burn out? Because, like, we're trying to accomplish a mission here, and you're kind of holding us up.
Yeah, I feel like I was always on a smoke break at a job somewhere, and it was always the microphone person, and I agree with that. Like, dude, I'm trying to not go back in here sober. We have another, I don't know. How many hours is this?
I'd say you
half a shift, at least 4. Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
And you're
another
telling me I got to spend all of them sober? And I had to listen to this terrible story while you
one.
smoked my, whatever I threw in, a .5 or whatever. Shout out Mary Beth or Jane Doe, whatever her name is.
Listen, whenever I address
It's
a
neither
party
of
foul,
those.
it's whenever I have like I rolled up the whole blunt, or like, it's all of my stuff. If it's their stuff, I don't say anything because it's like
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
it's their stuff. Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
But
they could
like,
have not shared
if
at
it's all
all.
my stuff, I'm totally like, you gonna hit that, or like, dang, did you know like you should blow into the bong so then water comes up and hits all the tree, or like with a rig, like, oh cool, you got water in the banger, like, dang, you could have at least moved your head away. But like, try not to be too mean. You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah,
sounding
yeah, yeah.
sarcastic right now because like,
Nah,
not
I
actually
feel you.
talking to someone about it, but it's like, come on, man. Like, what did you think would happen when you were into it?
She's killing me. It's killing me. Pass it. You ever feel like you do the ignorant thing? I feel like I've done it once. But you're just like, reach over, take it from them. And you're like, all right, I'll take this. And then you hit it, and they're just like, oh yeah, 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 sure, yeah, yeah. And they always act. They always act like they didn't do anything. They're like, oh yeah, no problem, take it, dude. It's cool. It's cool.
Nope, I've never done that because I'm always just like, could you hit it real quick and then continue the story?
Oh, you're always nice about it. I
I
see
wouldn't
how it
say that's
is.
kind of nice because like I'm gonna cut you off when you're telling your story, so I can tell you to hit the blunt.
I mean, yeah, but like,
I've never just snatched it from him. That's funny. I
I
might
mean,
try
like
that
not
one
like
next time.
snatched, but like nice and
I
slow,
know what
like
you mean, not
going like
snatching.
the
Like,
nice. It's almost like a sarcastic grab.
like yo,
So
let
the
me get that.
sarcasm is in the grab. Like, yo, are you gonna hit that? I guess I'll take it. I'll take care. I'll show you how this is done. You go puff puff, and then maybe you hit a couple more times, and then you pass. It's cool.
It's all good.
But yeah, no. Back to the blowing the weed into the bowl people, and it's mostly a beginner thing, or like the
Yeah.
heavy coughers who always try to push their limits. You got the try hard guy for his friends. He's at the sesh. The
Oh
boys are
no.
there, and they're like, "Yo, you think you can smoke a whole bowl in one hit?" Oh, for sure, bro. Pack me one up. Pack me one up.
Back it up.
Pack it up. I was trying not to clap. Pack it up. Like the gravity bong guys, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yo, milk that thing. And then they like smash the gravity bong, or they like smash the bong rip, whatever. And then you got this guy who's coughing his ass off in your house, acting a fool, because it's always the gravity bong or the huge bong rips that tear you up.
The
You know what I'm saying?
steamroller has gotten me.
Oh god, but that's just dry nastiness.
I know it hurts so bad.
I mean, it's kind of like the freaking gravity bong is the same thing. Dry nastiness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. It just hurts. It burns so different. Not enjoyable for me at least.
No, I don't think it's enjoyable for anyone.
I've met people who are like, I love a good steamroller, and I'm like, what do you mean a good one?
There's no good steamrolling anything.
It just always hurts too bad.
It's just like a super big one hitter. It is. It's like a super big, like chillum one hitter dugout thing. It's like a giant version of that.
That's
You just
funny.
and then you die. Oh, it's so bad. Why does it hurt so bad? And then they think it's so okay, and it's like, oh god, here we go. This is gonna be delicious. I'm ready for it.
I got one more party foul that I can think of.
Okay, off the rip.
It's about people passing the blunt or the bong. Have you ever read anybody, like, would you say it's a newbie that messes it up, or do you think some people just be getting too high on cloud nine that they're like, here? Even though they just got it.
Hand it back from who they got it from.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely a newbie thing, but I've definitely been so high that I forgot who's giving it to me. And maybe I was microphoning, a smidgen here, and I was like telling a story because I'm definitely guilty of that. I definitely like to talk a little bit, especially when I'm high. You got to watch out. I'll start talking about crap that does not matter. Or I'll tell you a story that no one cares about. You got to watch me. I'm like the old lady in the checkout line.
The old lady. I feel like it's old dudes. Like, I was in the hospital, and this old guy just started talking. He's like, look at this $100 bill.
Oh, no.
He's like, I've had this since 1945. And I was like,
who tells somebody that?
nice. And like, he
Hell
just
yeah, dude.
continued to tell me about it. I was like, I'm just going to walk away. Like, have a good day, sir. Thank you for sharing the info. I hope you have a good one. I was out of there.
He's had it since when? 1945?
1945, bro.
How about you remembered the date?
He would have 100% remembered the year. He probably could have told you the day.
How about
and
you
the
remembered
hour
the
he
date?
got it.
How about you remembered it?
Just because that's so weird. Like, who comes up to you out of nowhere in a hospital? You're at a hospital, and you're like, you know what would brighten this guy's day? Bro, I've had this $100 bill since 1945. No, I'm sorry, good sir. You made me think. Like, you're probably lonely. Like, I didn't mind talking to you, but I'm never going to forget that you just randomly came up to me and like, I've had this $100 bill since 1945.
Now you can tell everyone that story from here on out. Hey, this old guy in a hospital one time told me.
Bro, he lives on forever in good memory.
What do they say? Hey, lives rent free in my head. I love that saying. People say that, and I love that saying.
It's a good one.
This is lived rent free in my head. I love that saying.
Do you think, listen, away from the party fouls, because honestly, can you think of any others? I can't really think of any others.
Of what, just Dawn Mary wrong? Or what party fouls?
Yeah, just some party fouls. Or like, because I got a question for you.
What?
You don't got any more party fouls. Do you think THC percentage matters?
So here we are on Dawn Mary wrong just as a whole. No, THC percentage doesn't matter. Because you got to think. All that THC is just a single cannabinoid. I'm not trying to get too in-depth in the whole freaking science of it all. But it's just a single cannabinoid. And, the entourage effect being a thing, as in every cannabinoid working with one another is actually what gets you possibly higher than just what THC does by itself, as in like, distillate or something that's 100% THC.
Mm-hmm.
Does THC percentage matters? I mean, so like yes and no then. So the higher the THC percentage, the less other cannabinoids it's likely to have, I would say. So
I mean, I've noticed that on the boxes. It'll say like the terpenes are different. Usually the higher the THC percentage, the lower the terpenes.
Yeah, total cannabinoid count, total cannabinoid percentage, whatever it is.
Yeah, the terps.
The terps. So, if we're believing that is a thing, and I'm not trying to be preaching the entourage effect out here, but if science is like, hey, that's a thing and that's what gets you higher, why would you want a higher THC percentage at that point?
I trust 100% scientists because I've noticed anything that I've gotten that's like 60, like 60% is my go-to.
Right.
60 to like 69, sometimes a 72.
69, LOL.
Listen, but it's good. Like
facts.
So much more. It's always better. So like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm biased.
I mean, if you smoke them side by side, they'll probably taste the same, hit the same, feel the same. As far as the stone it gives you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's complete. I feel like it comes on faster, and like, I'm not gonna lie to you, my face feels like it melts onto the floor.
It definitely hits hard. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is. When it comes hard.
I mean, I approve of.
I don't know why I said that.
I approve
Terrible
of
choice
the
of words.
Entourage effect.
Entourage effect. Shout out you.
It's totally a thing.
Yeah.
Do you
THC
think
percentage? No. Doesn't matter as far as if you're trying to be the size queen, which I think is the current term that fits that whole thing. If you're size queening and your THC percentage, you're like, yo, this has got 98% THC. First of all, I'm putting about $5,000 at its distillate. First off, which is gross. But if you're size queening THC, you're doing the wrong thing here.
Just look it up. I'm telling you, look up the entourage effect.
Doesn't matter. And this is like going into like indica and sativa. Doesn't matter.
I had to whisper it.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Could have a sativa that puts you in the couch, and you could have an indica that makes you want to go for a walk or color or paint or read a book. I don't know what you do when you get all creatively high. I don't know what you call that. Most of the time when I get high, I want to sit on the couch. And
See, it makes me
think about things. Yeah, like play video games. You don't want to play video games?
Nah, it makes you want to go outside. Like walk around, see stuff.
All the time or just some of the time?
I feel like it depends on how my mood is. Like if I wake up and it's nice outside, like, yeah, take a few, go outside, go somewhere, hike it out. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, wow,
Yeah, but you're like an outdoorsy person in general.
I feel like there's a lot of people that do this because I've ran into a lot of people that are like, I love getting high
They're
and going and playing
outdoorsy
basketball.
people
But listen, I mean, you're right.
in
I know someone
general.
that loves just sitting on the couch. Like,
Hey,
it makes them sit on the
that's
couch.
not me.
play
You know
video
what I'm
games.
saying?
Yeah.
That's not me that likes to love to sit on the couch. And I'm sure there's tons of people that love to smoke and sit on the couch. That's one of the many reasons why I don't wake and bake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
one
it's
of
a
the
wrap.
many reasons why I'm not waking and baking. Besides it just blowing my tolerance out the freaking water and making me not get high later when I come home from doing whatever. I'm going to want to sit on the couch and not do whatever I'm supposed to do, which is adulting. I will do no adulting.
None whatsoever.
No, I'll sit on the couch and I'll watch cartoons. That's you're kidding. Hey, that has two meanings.
That's funny. He said you're kidding. So, what would you tell someone that is so strain specific? Like they're like, nah, it needs to be this strain or else I'm falling asleep.
Dude, have you met the Gorilla Glue people? Yo, it's got to be Gorilla Glue number 4. Or if they don't have it, they're like, oh, dude, like, I've never been as high as I have been when I hit Gorilla Glue. I had this number 4, dude, not that long ago. GG number 4. Hit so hard. That's all I want.
Nah,
They just shoot down every other strain. They're like, oh, I mean, like, it's all right. Like, I'm high, but, like, I'm not as high as I was. I could be so much higher, but I'm not. Yeah, strain-specific people. I mean, everybody has what they like. If you have something that you know makes you feel a certain way that you like to feel, I mean, your tolerance, I'm sure, is kind of high with it. Unless, maybe they wait all day and smoke only in the afternoon or smoke in the middle of the day only or however their plan all goes with it. Or maybe they blow through, an ounce a week. I don't know.
So you're telling me the guy that I met that said, oh, no, I won't smoke that sour diesel. It makes me fall right to sleep.
Oh, no.
He was telling the truth?
Yeah. He could have smoked and here's the thing. Is it the exact same strain of sour diesel he
That's
smoked?
what I'm saying.
Probably no, because it's just, I feel like every weed plant is extremely
for sure different.
individual.
Yeah.
I feel like you get different buds off the same plant, and they would probably test different THC percentages just of what height they are on the plant, how much sun they got, how much
see that
water they got, how close they are, how far they are from the main stalk. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. So, like, he could have smoked sour diesel, and it could have said sour diesel on the bag, and it could have maybe actually been sour diesel. And we're going to pretend it is for the sake of the story. And if he fell asleep, regardless if he thought it was a sativa or an indica, and regardless of what it actually was, that certain strain could be the one that puts him. And that's the whole thing. When this whole medical marijuana thing with the people who struggle to sleep,
true,
they come in, they get a certain strain that the bud tender or whoever smoked, and they said, hey, this made me fall asleep. And maybe they try it and they fall asleep. Maybe they don't. Obviously, it reacts differently with everyone.
different per person.
Yeah. So it could just be, that could just be the one for him. And again, it could have been sour diesel, could have not been. Who knows? But
I'm going to say it was.
we'll say it is.
I'm going to say
Sure.
it was. He got good stuff. I mean,
Sure.
I feel like it. Now, what would you say to the people out there that are like, only big nugs come into this house? The biggest, fattest nugs you ever see. I'm talking like hefty guys. Like, this nug literally has 2 grams inside of it, and it's 1 nug.
That's not terrible. 2 grams isn't crazy. Have you ever seen like a 5 or 6 gram nug? Something huge,
I have not
like
seen a
stall.
5 or 6 gram nug.
I mean, I've seen big ones. We'll call it nugs. It's like really just like chunks of the plant. But
Yeah, chunks of weed. But like, I've
Right.
always heard them call them nugs.
right now. But if you see like a big nug, and it's the craziest thing because if it's huge, it means you just got to break it apart with your fingers and then shove it in your grinder. And if it's small, you just shove it in your grinder, and ultimately it all ends up in your grinder. And if you have like a
Exactly the
keef
same.
screen and all that stuff, keef is here, keef is there, keef is everywhere. I'm anti-keef screen for life.
I don't like the keef screen.
Dude, the keef is part of what gets you high. What are you saving that for later? Why would you save that?
Just to hit one big old like blammer and be like this for like probably an hour. Oh, whoa, sorry, bro. Spaced out.
Spaced
Oh,
out.
So, like, what were we talking about?
Like Family Guy. Let's go to Mars, dude. Who is that? Who is that in the limousine?
Oh, dude, it was it Bill Clinton?
Is it Bill Clinton?
I think it's Bill Clinton because they steal a pig.
Did they
He's
steal?
like, yo,
Is
he's
it a
like-
pig or a cow? Or did they
Dude,
try
they
to?
totally stole a pig.
They stole a pig. Oh my gosh.
Because he was like, yo, look at that pig, Peter. He's like, we totally got to go take that thing. We eat some bacon.
Oh man. Family Guy's amazing. Anyways,
Family Guy is
back to
amazing.
going to Mars, dude. Yeah, big nugs. I mean, dude, it all ends up the same. And people who collect keef are not doing Mary wrong, but why not smoke it all together? You're missing some of the plant that you're trying to enjoy. I understand you're trying to collect it, do something with it later, but just why not smoke it all at the same time together
They'd probably
and
argue.
enjoy all of those terpenes and trichomes and
Because they're going to make a solid with
flavors.
it later. You know, they're going to have enough to do like 50% weed, 50% keef. And they're going to be like, well, like I'm smoking it then.
fair. That's fair. I just, I guess we're just different. Everybody's different. I have done that before. You've collected keef.
Yeah,
I've
I
collected
have.
keef.
I
I
just-
remember when
messy.
I first started smoking, you're the one who was like, this is a keef screen, and I knocked this thing out. You knocked it out. I had a wood grinder, and it was kind of cool, actually, and it had a keef screen in it, and you were like, no, knock that out. You don't need that. And I was like, okay. Who needs that? Not me.
Don't want it.
Smoke it all together.
It's just in the way.
And, years later, you learn. Maybe you don't need to collect the keef. Maybe you should smoke it all at the same time. If you're in a legal state, you can literally go to the dispo medically or not recreationally and buy a gram, an eighth, a quarter, a zip of keef.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Should that be, your cup of tea?
Then you'd have a lot of keef. You probably run through it like crazy, though. So fast. Or like pull most of it through if you don't have a screen. Ooh.
Gosh, and then the screen's a nightmare. I cannot do a screen in my ball. Just pull it.
Yeah, nah.
Just pull it through and send it on.
I would-
If you're going to pull it through, pull it through.
It happens.
Just put a little, if you're doing a keef bowl, just put a little weed right there at the bottom. Just put a nice little nug as like a screen, because then when you smoke it, it's cool. And it's not like a nasty, gross screen you got to clean later. Just pull it right through.
Way easier.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the way to do it.
Oh, 100% the way to do it.
But doing Mary wrong?
Yeah, just doing Mary wrong. I don't know. What else have you seen people do wrong? I mean, it couldn't be wrong. It could just be different.
It could be
Like,
different.
some stuff
But
isn't wrong.
don't lick the blunter joint.
Definitely don't lick the
If it
blunter
has a
joint.
gum line, I'm telling you, Josh from Raw talks about it all the time. Just a little bit of saliva is all it takes. If you ever have a raw and it doesn't stick and you're like, oh man, this gum line thing sucks. How do people get these raws to stick? Just a little bit. If you get it too wet, instantly doesn't
ain't
work
sticking.
anymore. Instantly doesn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So
Mess up that perfectly straight line.
it's the same thing. Don't tongue bang it. Don't microphone it. Don't microphone it. Do not hold on to that thing. Puff, puff, pass, then tell your
Puff and
story. Or
pass.
if you're in the middle of your story,
Just
I don't know, figure it out.
Just
Take
stop
a
talking
pause.
and puff it.
If you're scared someone's going to cut you off, hum while you hit it. You know what I'm saying? Really loud.
Super loud. Don't blow the water out of the bong or the rig.
Don't blow the water out of the
Definitely
bong
don't
of
do
the
that.
rig.
Avoid it.
Please.
Waste your stuff. Pass to the opposite side.
Always.
Always. Always.
They
to
always
the
say
opposite
pass to
side.
the left, but I would just say pass to the opposite side because rotations have gotten strange on me before and we're doing zigzags and stuff and it's just opposite side.
Yep. Like, who's next?
There you go. Hey, and at the same time, it never hurts to ask, who does this go to?
Right.
If you don't know, don't hand it back to who gave it to you. Just say, who does this go to? You're not going to hurt yourself. Nobody's going to be upset. Everybody's going to be high anyways. They're going to be like, oh, yo, I think it's me. Or I think it's you. Or nobody's going to know and it'll be hilarious.
It probably would be pretty funny.
So, either way, we'll call that Doing Mary Wrong, episode 3.
Definitely doing Mary wrong.
Thanks for coming by the SeshRoom, guys. I'm Brandon.
I'm Chase.
See you later.
As always, stay edufaded.